Hello, hello. Hi. Can you hear me? Yep, yep. It's good. Okay, let me share screen. Should be live now. Let me just check YouTube just for the video. This is actually the best thing ever because before we used to record, my friend used to record and then edit and then upload on OneDrive. This is much easier. Just you don't have to worry about any of it. Like they take care of it. Yep. Okay, that looks good. All right. So somebody is asking, can you show the Alliance technology? I'm guessing by Alliance technology you mean research. You're looking for something. I don't know if you're looking for something specific or you just want to take a quick look at research. So let me show that first. Or by Alliance technology, do you mean the Alliance Center, survivors and whatnot? So I'm not sure. Either way, I think I'll kind of answer both today. So the agenda for today will start by talking about survivors, because actually Mog told me multiple people, or maybe you, just you, Queen, that want to know more about survivors. So we'll start with that, and then I'll talk about heroes, skills, and gear again. I think it's the third or fourth time I actually repeat that point, but I think it's very important, and the reason I want to repeat it again is because I think it's one of the most common like mistakes where what people do and stuff like that. Sometimes it's for dumb reasons, like I'll show you what I actually have done very recently that have costed me a win, for example. It's just because I wanted to be over with Fiona and Adam, right? So just for the psychological factor of just being done with them, right? Like Max Adam, Max Fiona. But even though I know this is not the optimal route, and I did it, and I'll show you today, like what happened. The part about food, iron, and gold. Okay, food, iron, and gold. G-Hawks, I really don't understand the question. Talking about Alliance technology, the part about food, iron, and gold. Oh, okay, you're talking about economy. Okay, I got it, I got it. Okay, so if you want to boost your resources from research, and I really hope I'm answering that question correctly, this is what you're referring to, is so there are multiple things that can boost your food, iron, and gold. Most of them are in the economy. So if you go to the economy, you'll see three types of researches. You'll see this one, which is the boost food output. So this increases the production from your mines or farms. And then you'll find these are useless. They're called increase food gathering speed. So these are for when you go to any farm, like if you're going to this iron mine, for example, instead of taking 4 hours, 47 minutes, it would take 4 hours, for example. So yeah, it's not useless. Oh, the Alliance technology where you can donate. Okay, I'm an idiot. I actually think it is called, yeah, it is called Alliance technology. Sorry, I'm so bad. Okay, so Alliance technology. You're talking about the okay, the food output, iron output, coin output, right? It's kind of the same research I was kind of talking about, but that one is for each individual. However, when you're talking about Alliance technology, when it comes to iron, food, and coin, so this increases the production for everybody as long as they're in the Alliance. So it's a buff. It works with the tech as well. Like all the bonuses work together. But as long as you're in that alliance, you get the boost they have. For example, RGZ currently have plus 17%, 17.5% from the coin production. And since we're talking about that, people like players tend to think this is an added amount. It's not. So this 17%, let's call it 20%, is calculated based on the base production. So how do we get to know the base production? Hold on, maybe I get it from here. No. If you go to your headquarters and you go to the economy, okay, and then you'll see boost food production. Then you will know what you're getting from like tech boost is 25. Okay, this is not the base though. How do I get the base of? Actually, I have never done that before. But what I'm saying is, let's just make up numbers, right? Let's say your production is 100 per hour, okay? So that 55% is on the 100. When you add 50% more, it's not going to be on the 150. It's still going to be on the 100. So it's kind of less than what you think. Your technology is similar to GWR from server 309. Do you want me to send you pictures of that technology on Discord? I mean, you can, but to be honest, I really don't think this is the important stuff, to be honest, when it comes to Alliance Tech. Because you're talking about an increase in 2.5% in output, but your personal research will give you a lot more than that. Like, this is 10% alone, this is another 10%, this is another 10%, this is another 20%. So you're talking about 50% increase versus 20 that you're getting from Alliance Tech. So yeah, it's not nothing, and that's not even counting the Age of Oil increase in production. So I don't know. I don't think, like, yes, resources are important, but I don't think it's the number one priority in Alliance Tech. Personally, I would say the most important stuff are great helper, quick construction, senior scientist, quick research, um, veteran craftsman, and for war, the garrison ones are good. Of course, drill ground is good. Rallies are good. Quick training, expert trainer. I would say these would take advantage over resources. Unless resources are very low level, then yeah, I guess it's good to prioritize them. Uh, can you see the base resources by looking at your farm and doing the math? Yeah, yeah, I know resources, like click on, oh, here. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dylan Parrish. Thank you so much. I actually never known that. I knew it's like based on the base, just because I've done that with units, for example, right? The unit HP and whatnot, but resources are not something I really dug into. But yeah, the building acquisition is 543k per hour. And if I click details, this is the output owned material. Um, was it outside the base? So where is the base? Can somebody walk me through it? So when I pressed on the resources, it showed me this, the owned resource items, but optional. But like this is, or is it that? Is this the uh, the base? 534 per hour, but like, hmm. I have a feeling it's an overall. Like I sent it. Who invest heavily in their tech? Okay. I mean, to be honest, most of high-level alliances. Oh, okay, I just got your DM, Jihawks. Okay. To be honest, most of the high-level alliances, or very active or strong alliance, I would expect them to have similar, what do you call it? To have similar level of tech, just because, I mean, they have a lot of active players. At some point, you would run out of stuff to do. So yeah, Great Helper they have at 3, we have at 9. The resources they have around halfway, which is, yeah, because again, it's not high value. The protection is shit. Uh, okay, hold on. This is quite low actually. Hold on. If I look at Alliance Tech development, okay, oh, this is quick craftsman, and no, these are not important. My bad. So yeah, it is quite similar actually. We have Drill Ground maxed. They don't have it maxed, but again, they have it 8 out of 10. So yeah, it is quite similar. We are higher in a few things. They're higher in a few things, but I'd actually say overall we're a bit higher, but it's around the same level of technology research. But again, to be honest, if you look at the level, like RGZ is the gift level is what 27, right? I think if you look at GWR, it would be quite similar. And just based on that, even though it has nothing to do with research, but it has to do with activity um, indirectly. So let's see, GWR are where do I see the gift level of the alliance? 31 actually. Okay, so they're 4 level higher than us. I'd actually expect them to be a bit higher in alliance tech, but again, they're still in really good shape. So uh, the point I was making is any high level alliance that is active, has a lot of players, have some whales, it's expected for them to have high tech, because again, whales and strong alliances attract active players donate, so on. So, but thank you so much for the pictures. I'm still trying to figure out the base. To be honest, resources are one of the things I um, pay attention to the least. Um, not saying you shouldn't, you should, I just don't. I actually only recently maxed out on the output. I just finished the last research day, like a couple of days ago. I finished. Hold on, which ones? Yeah, these 3 were not done. I finished them like just a couple of days ago. So you should actually max these out as soon as possible, and also in the oil, these 3 would increase your output, especially if you're pushing headquarter levels. It's very beneficial. Okay, so let's go back to the agenda, and we'll do a Q&A towards the end, right? Today I don't intend on having a very long stream or workshop. I have 3 small topics that I'll cover quickly. I'll start with survivors, then I'll go into hero gear optimization and skill optimization, and then I'll just do a quick common mistakes, or yeah, or like common myth, or common, I don't know, like mistakes that I've seen common, like, or I've done and my friends have done, and so on. And I'll end that with Q&A, and depending on the time, if we finish early, I can do an account review as well, like, but just one. Okay, so we'll start with survivors, and since you wanted to know about it, so let let me, you actually direct me. Tell me, what do you want me to start with when it comes to survivors? Okay. Yep. Where do you go? Yep. Oh, okay. Um, it's, if I have to pick, So you know how it works is you multiply them together, right? Okay, so the best way to do it is to it's help received times each help time. This is not total help time, it's each help will give you that time. So for example, um, we have 32, I have 32 helps and each one gives me 45 minutes. So that means I can get 24 hours of help per whatever I'm doing. Okay? So 24 hours. If I do, let's do quick dispatch, for example. This is what they recommend I do. 34. Yeah, the recommendation is correct in almost everything, or not almost, in everything except the Alliance Hub. Just they screwed up something with the programming on this one. But usually the quick dispatch gives you the best option. Or not usually, almost always, except for this building. So if you multiply 34 helps by 33 help time, divide that by 60, and I got 18 hours, point 0.7. So I lost 5.5 hours of help. Only on this building, yes. So what do? I just, you can play around with it, but usually golds, if I have high purples, and I actually, unfortunately, I do, I've invested a lot on those two. So these two, and then you just multiply, right? So whatever number you get. So I've seen that any help received, sorry, overall, um, if she's below Emily, like almost a star, or below Karen, almost a star, usually it's better to have, because you can easily multiply it, right? Like 3, let's say 3 by almost 5 minutes. So that's 15 minutes, right? So that's 15 minutes for Emily, same for Karen. So this guy, uh, Javi, would give me, what, 6 minutes. So he's not better, he's worse. This guy would give me, what? Who's, okay, sure. Go ahead. No, it's fine. I always have troops on the wall. By the way, I don't understand why people remove troops from the wall. It's like at least leave your first squad. Yeah. And Hoot got burned today. I'll kill him. Anyways, so let's go back to this. Okay, so quick dispatch. My God, what's wrong with me? Oh, it's for me. Okay. Um, So you just gotta do the math, right? That's like almost 15 minutes. So what would give me 15 minutes? She is 10 minutes 40. Let's even say 10 times 2, that's 20. So she's better, and so on. So you can just do a rough estimate. If you are picky, you can do it with a calculator if you want an exact point. But uh, yeah, go with the recommendation for everything. And okay, I think the scouting thing will continue, so we'll just ignore it. Yeah, it's gonna be help received times help time. This should have been clarified by each help time, or help time per help, or sorry, like time per help, or I don't know how would they phrase it, but anyways, it should have been clarified. Yeah, it should have been clarified a bit better. Um, so this is when it comes to survivors in the Alliance Hub. So you multiply them together based on where your purples are, your gold are. Eventually, I'm gonna replace all the golds to purples. And this takes me to the next point I want to talk about: what to level and how to level. No, all the purple to gold. Sorry, I mixed it up. Yeah. So most of the golds actually have an extra trait. for example, if you go to the hospital, okay, let's look at one of the goals, for example. They increase the hospital capacity and they increase the healing rate. And actually, the healing speed does not matter at all because the healing speed only matters if you heal everything all at once. But we all know this easy trick in hospital that you always heal in batches, right? So you can get them done instantly and so on. So if you do it that way, then this healing speed actually does not matter at all. But what matters is the hospital capacity because this means you're increasing the capacity. So you will fill your hospital less. You will have more space for injured soldiers, and then when you work on research and you increase your hospital capacity, this increases the base value. So every increase in percentage would increase that further. So, however, if you look at the purples, she's useless, right? She's 2-star. All she does is increase the unit healing speed. No capacity increase. And it doesn't matter, even if you take her to 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, the only thing that adds up is the healing speed, which doesn't matter, for example. So for hospital, I would not upgrade any purple survivors. Yes, I have this at 2 stars because I've made a lot of mistakes in the past, but I would not. Yeah, if you're still starting up, yeah, that's the whole idea of the workshop. Like, I've done a lot of mistakes, and my friends as well, and you and everybody, so we're just trying to share our mistakes so others would not do it again, or not do it as well. So I would just focus on the golds, right? This would increase the capacity from 1 to 2 and so on, 10 to 11 and so on. I'd always prioritize the lower star if I'm low on shards, survivor shards. I'd always prioritize the less than a star to 2-star in case of the hospital because there's so many of them. But in case it's in the Alliance Center, you can only use 4, so then I'll just focus on the 4 I use. A little trick I do usually that I always do the quick dispatch, like how you're doing, how everybody's doing, right? We'll do quick dispatch on everything except the Alliance support, and then I will go to the building, I'll go to deploy, and then I only look at these. I only look at the ones that I have deployed and I see if there is an upgrade, if there is an upgrade. Yeah. And they also added filters, by the way, here. This was not here before. Like, you can check who's dispatched that you own. You can even choose who's dispatched that you own that you can star up as well. Like, you have enough to star her up. So she needs 100 to be from 2-star to 3-star. So the filter is actually quite nice as well. So I usually look at deploy, ignore the purples, and just see if there are any golds that I can upgrade. And yeah, if I can, sure. If not, then I'll just wait. The only exception here, since these lawyers are just taking forever to come, to be honest, if I get an upgrade on Catherine or Amanda, I would do it, even though it's very expensive. Like, it's 1600 shards for just a minor upgrade, but it's gonna add 20 seconds times 36, so I would do it personally. But these are the yeah, these are the only ones. For help, I'll do it. But Builder Hut, they're 2 stars and they're not gonna go up. Like maybe Rebecca will go up a bit because she increased the unit cap a little bit more because she's almost 3 stars. Uh, Harry's never going up. She's never going up. Drill ground, again, I might close a star to increase the max capacity for barracks. Actually, the purples are not bad for the barracks because they increase the max units. Um, so it's not bad. It increases drill ground capacity. Um, like they give the same upgrade, max units and max units. There's no additional. The only additional is at stars you get plus 50, plus 100. the increase is a bit more, but I mean the purples are kinda, they have some value in the drill ground. The farmland, sure, but again, I would not take them past 1 star, even though I've done these to 2, but I would recommend maybe just stop at 1. Same for iron mine, same for gold mine, and then we come to the worst ones. Gear factory, I would not recommend. Uh, Actually, at all, even for the gold, unless you have a lot of shards sitting. Because how many times you build gear, and how many times you're such in a hurry to build one gold gear that you can't wait a day and a half. So I would say Gear Factory is not worth it. Armed Truck is amazing, worth it 200%, especially after the Gorilla with the Gorilla Truck. So of course these are worth it. If you don't have gold, I would say upgrade your purples. Uh, and then we come to the worst ones in the game, the warehouse. Useless, useless, like useless. I even don't. I have shards. I will not put them here, even though it's 180. It's useless because it protects. It's gonna protect. It's gonna protect 75k gold food. This is the upgrade. It's gonna upgrade, protect 75k, and the 75k that it's gonna protect, you lose a percentage of that as well. So you're protecting a few thousand food. Like I mean, you kill one zombie, we get 100k. So it's like very bad value. Even the building itself is really bad value. Like I have it on level 14, probably free. No, it's not free to upgrade. But I would only upgrade the food warehouse and the iron and all of these warehouses. I'd only upgrade um, for VS points, but they're useless. Useless, useless, useless. Actually, they're not useless if you're like headquarter 12 or 20 or whatever, because then it actually the amount is significant for those players. But again, like I doubt these players would pay attention or watch any video or hop on any workshop, right? They're gonna do the mistakes and then they're gonna, when they're higher leveled, then they're gonna see it and it would be too late then. So yeah, so the warehouse is just useless in terms of everything. Even research, by the way, like research here and development, like I have these at 1 just because I've done them a long time ago, but they're useless. So I would not even put anything here. Again, maybe for research points, for arms race, that's a different story. If you don't have anything to do, you wanna run a couple of these to get points, sure, but know that they have very low value. Um, so yeah, I think this is it for survivors. So these I highly recommend. Buy them as much as you can. Survivor tokens, I buy them most of the time. 2.5k go by very quickly. Like if you see at one of those purples that we were talking about earlier, right? The Alliance Center, like just one upgrade is 1600, and in a week you can get 2500. So if you think you have 20k, 30k, 40k, oh, it's too much, I'm not gonna use them, you are gonna use them, especially in the higher stars, gold tile stars. There is no way to get these. Like you get those from here, you get them from when you run recruit survivors. You open these and you get nice 1 token. 1 token. So like you're just gonna 5 tokens. So this is gonna take forever. So start stacking up now, because at some point in the future when you have a lot of gold shards, you're gonna be struggling for tokens, not the shards. So just start saving now and stop wasting them like I do. Um, yeah. So like I have now with the 2.5k I got, I have 4.4, so I had 2k. So just start saving up on these each week, high prio, and all the speed ups. Oh, actually, I have healing speed ups. I could have used those. But anyways, transfer tickets. Which ones? The speed ups? I buy all speed ups because healing, if you fight a lot, you're gonna need them in Buster, you're gonna need them in Capital. Uh, Even for some of the players with very low kill counts, right? Like we have some players, I don't know, I don't want to say numbers, but with like super low kill count number that it's bad. Anyways, even those players, not your fault, even those players play Desert Storm. So they can use these in Desert Storm, right? So what I want to say is they're useful for everyone. Speed ups and resources in the game, you can never have enough. So, and at some point you'll be healing troops with universals, so it's better to have more healing than less. So, uh, of course, if you don't have enough alliance points, then I would not prioritize these. As you saw, like healing is the last thing I'll buy. I'll always buy research first and construction second, or if you have enough and you're gonna buy them in order for VS, then you can buy construction, then research, then training. But in terms of value, I would say research highest value, construction second highest, then training, and then healing speed ups. Transfer, it depends. To be honest, if you think there is a chance you might leave the server, buy them. If not, then leave them. Yeah, I mean, really, you're thinking about it? Ah, alright. These resource chests are horrible value, the worst ever. Like 50 for 600,000. Like this is crazy. Like anybody who buys these is crazy. These are also horrible, horrible, horrible. Teleporters highly recommended. Again, you can never have enough, in my opinion, especially if you're an active fighter. Like I have 3 advanced, 2 and 11 randoms, but I'll probably run out of most of them tomorrow, especially if you're against an annoying opponent or somebody who likes to chase and stuff. Shields, yeah, all of these obviously are core, like the chests you have to buy, drone and XP. Survivors, I didn't used to buy these at all at the beginning. And since I'm way behind for my power level on survivors, I've started buying these. And of course these for Gorilla are core. But I've not only that, I've started buying these every week as well. Like the 50 here, 50 for 100 for 10k diamonds. Um, I don't think this is good value. However, I'm really behind. I'm trying to catch up with survivors. This is why I'm buying them. But yeah, I'd say in terms of VIP, the only must buy is the 8 hours and the 3 hours. 8 hours, 3 hours stamina, advanced teleporters, and bond patch. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. So 5 things, I'd say. These are the important things. If you don't buy a lot, just prioritize getting the 8 hours, 3 hours, and then the stamina, advanced teleport, and bond patch. Okay, so I think this is it in terms of survivors. Do you have anything? Oh, okay, yeah, no, there is one more. One more very important actually. So if I'm training troops, right? Let me apply here. So let's see. Let me do this for just the sake of demonstration for the video. Okay, so let me finish these. And I have okay survivors. And they would let me train 731, right? If I take my best survivors, it was 731, right? So I'm swapping these, I'm coming here, doing quick dispatch. So 731 turned into 787. Um, and of course it's gonna take more time and more resources, but what you're doing here is when I apply for this buff now, I'm getting increasing the cap 20% and increasing the speed 20%. So I'm increasing the speed not of the 730, but of the 787, which turned into 900. So you're saving 20% of that 900. So now when I train, first of all, I'm kind of saving time because I'm saving 20% of a bigger number. And then after that, I'll take the number would never change, right? It's 23 hours, 44 minutes. After I press OK, so I'll change the survivors. Okay, let's put them here, here. Okay, um, okay. So these are the best survivors I can, but they're not as good, right? It tells you here 811. However, if you press on here, it's not 811, it's 893. So you gained value. So what I do in training, I put my best here, finish training, put them here, finish training, put them here, finish training, and so on. And if I'm upgrading, it's the same thing. Whatever I'm upgrading to, I put them in that barracks. So if I'm using this to upgrade T8 to T9, I'm gonna put my best survivors here to save time. Same thing goes for the research. But the research is a bit more complicated. Just there is one extra point. So let's say I'm doing research here, so I'll speed this up, I'll finish the research, and then I'll do the same. I'll swap them for a shitty survivors, or bad survivors, sorry. And then I'll go to the next one, and then I'll research here. And then I'll be done, I'll do the same. Swap to less valuable um, survivors, and then put them here, and so on and so forth. However, you need to keep in mind something very important. Research tech works differently than barracks, meaning, let's say I finished this research and I finished this research. So both of my center number 1 and center number 2 are not working, okay? And I go to center and I put my best survivors. Let's do it now. I put my best survivors in 2. Okay, I put my best survivors in 2. I want this one to work, and then I'll press research and I'll go pick whatever and press research. You know what's gonna happen? It's not gonna prioritize research 2. It's gonna put what I picked from 2, put it into 1, by the way. Why is that? Because research center 1 is higher level. So if both of these are not working, it would always prioritize the higher level tech, regardless of the survivors. So how do I fix that problem? It's simple. You don't finish all the research at the same time. Like you don't end them. So let's say all are finished. None of the research centers are working. I will put my best survivors in Tech 1. I'll research in Tech 1. And then I'll move them to Tech 2. And then I'll research in 2 and then in 3. Does that make sense? Yeah, so it all, because even if I go to Tech 2 and press research, it would make research 1 do the work, not 2. Because both of them are available, it would always prioritize the higher one. So just keep that in mind while researching. So yeah, I think this should be it for survivors. Okay. Uh, I'll do heroes very quickly. So I don't know why in Arena, in V3v3, in our alliance, in other alliances, people or like players tend to make these skills equal. I don't know why. You'd find this 30, this is 30, this is 28, or stuff like that. Like I don't know, they're mostly even for most of the people or most of the players, and this is a huge mistake because the values differ based on the hero. The values differ based on the type of hero. So if you have defenders, let's say like Adam for example, Adam, his best skills are top right, and bottom left, top right and bottom left. These are the high priority, high value skills. However, this one, the top left, is an auto attack skill. That is a damage skill. It's not a defender skill. And his damage is irrelevant in any fight, no matter what. Even if he has exclusive weapon, even if he's maxed out, even if he has red gear, defenders don't do enough damage. So this is why this is low value. So you should leave it at last. Yes, you can max it out, but you should leave it till the end. So for defenders, always prioritize top right, top left. And the third one, just leave it even 10 levels higher, sorry, 10 levels lower than anything else is fine. For attackers, it's top right, top left. These are the core ones. The last one, which is the passive, doesn't do as much damage. Yes, it does increase your damage a little bit, but it's not worth the investment. So again, you can max it out, but leave it last. This is when it comes to the skills. Remember I was telling you I did a mistake, right? So what's the mistake? I know what I just told you, right? Like I've known this information for a while, maybe a few months, and yet instead of putting points here, right? This is a higher value, or putting points here for McGregor or here for McGregor, I opted to finish up Adam's attacking skill that is useless, and the passive for Fiona that is also very low value. But I mean, I'm not saying this is smart, I'm not saying I took the right decision, I just wanted to be over with them, if that makes sense. That doesn't make it right, that doesn't make it good. And that usually doesn't cost me. However, I have not lost to a guy who is lower power than me in months. And because I'm a dum dum, this happens. Let me show you. Because I sent her the report today. Yep, there you go. So 48 million is my missile squad without the gorilla. He's 46.9 without the gorilla, and I lost. Okay. I have better gear. We are around the same skills. However, it's not the same skills. Look at him. Okay. Look at Fiona's third skill that I told you is low value. It's at 26. Mine is maxed. However, he took this skill medals and put it here, here, right? He put them in more valuable stuff in McGregor and in Swift. I would say this is the main reason I lost. His drone is a little bit higher, very irrelevant. After 150, you don't feel a difference until it's 200. My gorilla is better than his. However, his research is better. I have higher morale. I have more troops. So I don't know. There are many things that cancel each other out. I personally think the deciding factor here is he optimized the skills better than me. This is why with 1.2 million deficit, he still won just because, yeah. I just wanted to be done with Fiona and Adam. What I want to say is optimization actually makes a big difference. So the more committed you are to doing the right thing, the more value you will get. At the critical hits, please. No, the critical hits is quite a lot actually. So he did nice. Okay, you caught that, or you didn't catch that, but I mean, I don't know if you caught that or if you thought about it. He actually did get lucky or very lucky with the crit hits. Yes, he had crazy crit hits, 38 to 20, so almost double my crits. So yes, he got lucky with the crits. However, I really do believe that that this how he utilized his skills versus how I utilized my skills makes a difference. I don't know. But yeah, there is a luck factor. I've been trying to find him because this matchup happened in Arena, in 3v3, sorry. I've been trying to find him again or fight him again, but I wasn't lucky enough to get him. As soon as I get him, of course, I'll do the same. I'll run my missiles versus his missiles just to see if it was luck or are the minor differences in skills really matter that much, because he is higher than me in research. However, I'd say the million in gear is worth more than research. So he has two level 30s as well, but I don't know. So yeah, 38 critical hits, that gets 21 million in crit damage. 11 million, so that's 10 million extra, I guess. Yeah, I guess we'll see, but yeah, he did get a bit lucky. Uh, so okay, next item is the hero's gear. Okay, so the hero gear, the biggest mistake that almost everybody does, I've done the same, is spreading out the gear. So like having some 2-star, sorry, one orb, two orb, one orb, two orb, then one orb here, two orbs there, one orb here, three orbs there. It's just the worst thing ever. And it kind of, the worst thing is, it makes sense. If you haven't calculated the numbers, I've seen the increase, it makes sense because it's cheaper to get the first orb. It's only 5 blueprints. Second one is 10, then it gets to 15, then it's 20. However, if you have run the calculations, we've done the testing a lot, and I can give a breakdown at a later date if you guys want, or whoever is interested can text me on Discord during game. I'll send you the like equations and the breakdown of why it's better and how it's better. Because these buffs, the extra attributes, and each level buff, they stack on top of each other. That means having a one piece of gear with two orbs is worth way more than having two gears with one orb each. So turning that into like a simpler way is you want to stick to one piece of gear until you max it out. And I don't mean max it out as in mythic. No, I mean maxing it out like 4 3/4. Like this is a maxed out gear. So like I'm done with it all the way and just waiting on mythics. Then leave it and go next, and so on. So you want to prioritize a gun and a gun first, or a cannon, whatever you call it. So gun, and then you want to prioritize your defenders after the first two guns. If you are playing air squad as your first, you can go with 3 guns if you want. And then you want to prioritize your frontliners with armor and radar, armor and radar. So 2 or 3 guns, then 2 armors, 2 radars, and then you go back to the attackers. And actually, you should not build chip second on the attackers, you should build radar. Uh, if you guys know why, because you've watched the other streams or you've made your own calculations, the radar is the highest value in the game because it reduces the critical hits when it's mythic by 30%. Plus, most of the heroes in this game do energy damage, not physical. You only have Morrison, Fiona, and Swift who do significant physical damage. Because yeah, there is some physical damage that is meaningless. For example, Murphy, for example, doesn't matter. So the meaningful physical damage are only 3 heroes versus all the other attackers do energy. This is why it's mathematically better to prioritize radar. So yeah. And I think this also links to the next part, which is the common mistakes. So the common mistake is spreading out the orbs on the gear. The second mistake also in gear is that you prioritize doing mythic guns. Mythic guns are fine, but don't do mythic chips afterwards. So after you have done one or two mythic guns, your highest priority for mythics should be always radars. Radars and maybe a couple of armors, and then radars. Get your 5 radars on all your heroes to mythic if you can afford it. Uh, so yeah, that's kind of common mistake number 2. So common mistake number 3, I would say, is not putting your first squad on the wall. I don't think you should ever uncheck this. Like, especially your first squad, you should never uncheck this. Unless maybe it's Saturday, it's Buster Day, it's Capital, you're not very strong, you don't want to leave anybody to defend your base, sure. But you only do it for the fight and before, and as soon as you wear a shield, you check it back. You should never leave the game with your with no troops on the wall. For many reasons, like you might have a, I don't know, a very low alt account that just holds a grudge, or somebody who holds a grudge and has an alt account would just burn you. Like it's just so annoying. Or maybe you'll forget about zombie, or maybe a Doomwalker, a random Doomwalker will come and burn you. Like there is no reason at all. You have 3 or 4 squads. Always keep your first at least defending your walls. So mistake number 3. Hold on, I'm getting some DMs, or was this in the call? Hold on. Yeah, okay, it's nothing related to the stream. Okay, mistake number 3. You can help me with this one. What are the common mistakes? And hi, I just saw you joining. So, give me some common mistakes that people do or players do. I mean, a very dumb one is just collecting your resources without getting Minster of Interior. What else? What else? There are many of those actually. Maybe I should make a list first and go over them later. But okay, another mistake is when you run trucks, or when you're in a train, or when you attack trucks, the one very common mistake is people usually have, especially for trains and trucks, have the wrong page when it comes to the drone chip. So you'll find them running a truck with tank squad, but they have missile drone chip and so on. It's a very common mistake. Second thing is usually when it comes to garages, your first garage and fourth garage are the best, and there is a buff on these that you can find in research based on squad 1, squad 2, 3 and 4 and so on. So if you go to arena, for example, and go defense, this is very common mistake. So let's say this is my defensive setup. If I change the garage from 4, which has good research, to 3, it did not change my power. However, this would lose me a tremendous amounts of fights because my garage number 3 or squad 3 garage research is on 0% versus this one, T4 or garage 4, which is maxed out on research. So keep that in mind. Always check that you have picked the right drone page and the right garage page. This is also very common. Another common mistake in decoration is that you would find a decoration that you have found in a tier list that's very high, and you keep going for that level 3, level 4, even higher, and neglecting the other decorations that are much cheaper to upgrade. So for decorations, you want to be as even as possible. You want to get your level 1s to level 2s, level 2 to level 3, and once you get everything to level 3, then you can start thinking about, okay, what's higher level, what's lower level, or at least once you get everything to level 2, let's say, then you can start working on, okay, which one is higher value, which one is lower. Um, yeah, I think another maybe common mistake is whether it's in the gorilla or in the research, defense is always the worst trait in the game. Always prioritize HP and attack before you put anything on defense. And yeah, I think this is everything I have in mind today. Um, but yeah, if there are any questions or if somebody wants to show a report that we can analyze together or something, we can do that. Otherwise, we'll keep it a short stream and have more content for you guys next week. And FYI, so 2-3 days from now, I'll start doing two more kind of content related stuff for YouTube. So I'll do shorts. So shorts would mostly have like I don't know 40 50 minute 50 sorry 40 50 seconds quick content, like I don't know, like just mini things like how to put survivors in Alliance Center, or how to optimize of truck setup, or three common mistakes that people do, or how to increase the power of your first squad the fastest. So stuff like that are very simple and easy in 1 minute or less. And also in 3-4 days time, I'll start um, taking some parts of the workshop and turning them into videos. If I find that the quality is not that good or the video is too long, I'll re-record it and I'll start doing like a 3 to 5 minute guides. A guide for hero research, a guide for units research, a guide for like how to get resources better, how to um, increase your first squad, how to optimize your second squad, gear, skills, and so on. So I'll start doing more of a 3 to 5 minute guides, just because I think it's much easier um, for somebody who's looking for a specific tip or a specific guide, but they don't want to sit through a workshop. So like the workshop will continue because it's actually fun, and like sometimes we get a lot of guys and I don't know, it's a fun discussion or hanging out and stuff. But also, but yeah, if somebody doesn't want to sit through an hour long or like an hour and a half sometimes or 45 minutes workshop, they can always go to the video they want for that specific thing. Saying thank you. I never actually thought about moving survivors. Yeah, it's actually a very good trick and it saves a lot of time, especially for research. Like, I've known the trick about moving them in barracks and research long time ago, like maybe 6, 7 months ago. However, I've only started doing them in troops last season, even though I've known about it, but I've never really cared. I never thought it would save me as much, but season 3 was brutal. A lot of units died. I was almost out of resources, always out of speed ups. So then I learned my lesson to save up as much as you can everywhere. So yeah, this trick is very good for barracks, for training troops, also for research. You're welcome. So does anybody else have any question, or should we just call it? I'll give you guys a minute on YouTube and on Discord in case anybody posts a question. I'll answer that, and if not, then I'll see you guys next Friday. And probably before next Friday, because in 2-3 days time I'll start posting one or two videos per week for guides. So, all right, guys. Thanks everybody. Thanks for showing up. And yeah, stay tuned for more stuff. And as you guys know, like this, if anybody has tips that you want to share with RGZ or 323 or even in the channel, okay, feel free to DM me and share it. Even if you wanna share it on your own YouTube channel, just send me a link. I'll post it so other can see it. Or if you wanna record it and post it on this channel, you can do that as well, and I'll put credits for you. So I know whatever works. Like the whole idea of this Discord is not, uh, I don't know, it's just to spread the knowledge and give guides and just make others learn from our mistakes. So if there's any way I can spread your knowledge or your mistakes that you don't want others to make, please feel free to reach out in any way. So until then, I'll see you guys, I think, next week at the same time. Starting next week, I'll also stream Desert Storm right before the workshop starts. I tried to do that today, but I had some technical difficulties, so I couldn't stream the Desert Storm, which is good because we actually got crushed. So next week I'll stream Desert Storm, then I'll have around 15 minutes break, then I'll do the workshop, and then we'll take it from there. So see you guys. Bye bye.